Hey everybody, this is Ramon from Dream Start, and I'm super excited to see you guys on today. I am going to do a quick video about 5 places where you can find money for your startup. It's a lot of things we're going to cover, but I think it's important that um, we find ways and find areas where we can generate income. The number one reason why a lot of businesses fail is because of lack of funding and lack of income coming in. And so I want to make sure I help you guys find some really great places to find money. I'm going to tell you the ones that I really like and the ones that are doable, but there are some caveats to that before you do that. So we're going to jump right on in on today to get started and let you guys know, if those of you guys who are struggling, you're struggling to find money for your company, you're struggling to find money for your business, you have an idea of something you want to start, you don't really know where to begin, we're going to start from there. So the Koofman Foundation, for those of you guys who don't know the Koofman Foundation is an organization that was started to help really kind of track the state of entrepreneurs, and they focus a lot on minority entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in different categories. But they did this study of about 5,000 entrepreneurs, and they kind of did a study on some of the top ways that most entrepreneurs actually raise money. And it's more than about almost 70%, so about 65% of entrepreneurs, they raise money in 2 ways, okay? They raise money with banks and other loans, and they raise money from their personal savings. So most entrepreneurs, when they started their business and they funded their business, over 60% of those entrepreneurs got their money from either banks and loans or from their own personal savings, okay? And I think that's important to know because the other things out there we hear about a lot, like angel investors or venture capitalists or other ways of funding. We hear a lot of talk about these other ways of funding businesses, investors here and investors there, but the vast majority of entrepreneurs don't use investors. They use either their own personal savings. That means they've collected amount of savings over what they've done before from working somewhere, or they've bootstrapped their business and generated savings that way, or they've gotten a bank loan. They've gone to a bank, or they've got another kind of loan from a business loan from somewhere else, and that's what they use to start their business. So I want to kind of give you guys some easy ways that you can do kind of those 2, plus I want to give you 3 more ways that you can generate money, right? And so I'm going to start from my least favorite, and I'm going to talk about why to my most favorite. That's what I'm going to go with, okay? So I'm going to start from my least favorite, then I'm going to go to my most favorite, okay? So first one, let's talk about banks and other loans. There's a lot of different loans you can get from a bank. And this is probably one of my least favorite ways, because I believe that if you're starting off on a business, or if you start off in a negative, if you start off in debt, it's sometimes really difficult to kind of build momentum, especially when you have to pay somebody back from it. And so one thing that I recommend is that if you're going to go for a bank loan, make sure that you are really committed to a solid business plan, because at the point you get a loan from a bank, or you get a loan from anybody, you have to pay them back, usually with interest. And I don't want you to have the weight and the frustration of building a business, taking care of your family, trying to have a life, and also having the responsibility of knowing that you have to pay this money back, right? Now, if you are going to get a bank loan, let me just kind of give you my framework on whether or not you should get some questions you should ask yourself before you get a bank loan, okay? First question you should ask, do you have enough money, okay, in your personal savings or your personal income to pay back this loan in less than 3 to 5 years? That's my own personal thing. Anytime I tell people, or people may ask me about, should I take out a loan? I use this metric for anything, whether it's buying a car, whether it's getting a business loan. If you get enough, get a money, or you get approved for a loan from a bank, can you pay it back with your own personal income, right? Let's say you never made money from your business. Could you pay that loan back in 3 to 5 years, right? And the reason why I say that is because if you take out a loan that's more money than you can afford, then the weight and the burden of that, and honestly the responsibility of that, it will be frustrating. It will be overwhelming. And I don't want you to default on loans. I don't want you to mess your credit up. I don't want you to mess your business reputation up because of the weight of that bank loan. And so if you're going to take out a loan, the first question I will ask myself is, can I pay it back in 3 to 5 years with my own personal income / savings, okay? Second question you want to ask yourself, okay? The money that I'm borrowing from this bank, is it a need or is it a want? Now what do I mean when I say that? A lot of times people take out bank loans to take care of their own livelihoods, right? And so usually when you take out a business loan from a bank or from another place, we usually take it because, oh, I need money to live on. Well, you should not be taking bank loans off of money that you need to live on. And the reason why I say that is because your job can do that for you. You don't want to put money from a bank loan into what you are actually doing to take care of yourself, right? And so, hey, Toya, happy to see you, girl. But you don't want to take a bank loan and fund just your basic livelihood. My rule of thumb when it comes to bank investing and getting a loan from a bank or from the SB or something like that is if you're going to take out a loan, make sure that you can use that money. Here's what's important, okay, for income generating opportunities. Where is the best place to put that money at for you to generate the most amount of income? So let me give you an example. If I was starting a construction business, I can either put that bank loan into myself. I can take out the bank loan and they give me, let's say, 10 grand, right? And I say, you know what? I'm going to use that 10 grand to live on for the next 3 months. I think that's irresponsible for that loan. What would be better is I'm going to take my current situation where I am. I'm working somewhere full time. I'm going to bootstrap my business, right? I'm going to generate some clients. And the moment I get some invoices, some purchase orders, I'm going to use that bank loan to purchase the equipment that I need in order to really recoup or generate the income that's required of me. I think it's really important that if you're going to get an SBA or a bank loan or any kind of loan for a business, that you are going to use that money for income generating activities, things that you can directly generate income the quickest. Because if you just use it for your livelihood, then what happens when you eat the money up? Then what are you going to say for this? What's your plan to living off of that and doing things to really generate income for you? And so that's my suggestion for that. Now, some really great places you guys can go get bank loans or get loans from other lenders. Of course, your local bank and credit union is the best place to get that from. If you guys are going to go and get a loan, I would suggest going to a credit union that typically have better fees. If you're going to go to a bank, I prefer a credit union or a local bank before a national bank. Outside of that, even better, there's a lot of organizations in your city or in your town that may provide funding as well. And so like here in Tulsa, we have TEDC, Tulsa Economic Development Corporation. We have other places where you can go and get funding from here as well. The Small Business Administration, they provide unconventional loans as well. And then there's other organizations that allow you to get loans as well, like kiva.org is a great place where you can get a loan. You can also, there's a company called Cabbage that will allow you to get a loan as well. With Kiva, they actually give you investors, and those investors fund into your actual business, but it's no interest. That's the reason why I like Kiva, because they don't actually have any interest to their loans. You basically have to pay back the money that you borrow to the people who gave it to you. And that's pretty much it. But cabbage.com is another like source that a lot of startups and businesses use in order to start their business and make money. So Kiva, Small Business Administration, you can go to, like I said, your credit union, or you can actually go to your bank and get a loan as well. Okay. But again, like I said before, this is my least favorite way of funding your business starting out, because you automatically start off in the negative. Okay. You automatically start off in the negative. I had an opportunity to buy a business years ago, and it wasn't a bank loan per se, but I had some investors who was willing to invest in me to buy this particular business. And I decided not to, because the business was going to cost me about $100,000. And I got 4 investors who was willing to commit to allow me to invest in that business and buy that business. But I realized I didn't want to start off in the negative. If I was going to buy something, I didn't want to have to pay someone back and then go forward. So I'd rather just bootstrap it. My whole business for the last 2 or 3 years I've been doing it. I've bootstrapped the whole thing. I've saved money. I've been saving money. I've been investing money, been taking money from the things I've been doing, putting into other things. And I think that to me is probably one of the best ways, which we're going to talk about in a few. Okay. Second way you can generate money or find money for your business is personal savings. Okay. Now, like I said, 30% of entrepreneurs, 34.9% of people they interviewed, I told you guys about Koofman, they interviewed 5,000 entrepreneurs, and 34.9% got their money from bank loans. 30% got it from their personal savings. That basically means they bootstrapped it. Okay. I love this idea because I think it's one of the best ways to generate money. I know if you have a savings, now I'm not talking about your retirement, so don't use your 401k. A lot of people say, well, just take money out of your 401k. Never. ever take a loan out of your 401k or any kind of like long-term retirement savings, because they're going to truly like, it's going to penalize you. They're going to double tax you. But if you have a pretty good nest egg, take a portion of your personal savings and invest it into yourself, right? Like bet on yourself. That's basically what taking your savings is like, is betting on yourself, taking money from your own pocket and deciding that you're going to bet on yourself and put money into your savings. Now, for those of you guys that are like, man, Ramon, I would love to put money in my savings, but right now I don't have much in savings. I got some help for that. There are 2 apps I want to recommend that'll really help you get on track with your savings. And that one of those apps is called Capital, but it's called Capital with a Q. So it looks like Quapital, okay? So Quapital, okay? But literally Capital with a Q. So it's basically the same way you spell capital, but with a Q instead of a QU instead of a C. But Quapital is a really great app that you can use to automate your savings. And so anytime you get paid, you can set it up to put up $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, $30 a week, $40 a week into your savings. Or if you want to take it a step further, they have different rules that you can use to put money into your savings. So anytime it rains, like right now in Tulsa it's raining, it can put money in the savings and in the savings account for you. Anytime that your favorite team plays and they win a game, you can make it put money into your savings. Anytime it's a full moon outside, anytime they have one on there that anytime Donald Trump tweets, it can put money into your savings. But they have different rules that they've created that allow you to automatically create savings for you. And it's a good way for those of you guys who struggle with the discipline of putting money in your savings. It's a really great way of doing that. So it allows you to automate your savings. It puts rules on your savings. It shows you how you're doing with your savings. It's pretty cool. Another app that you can use is called digit.co. So digit.co. And Digit is a really cool app that automates your savings as well. But what it does is it allows you to, it takes small amounts of money from as you're using your money throughout the month, and it automatically transfers into a savings account for you. So instead of you setting a certain amount of money every month that you want to save, or every week you want to save, it basically, you tell it how aggressive and how not so aggressive you want it to save. And based on your level of aggression, that's how it places money into savings for you. So it could do anything from, you know, dollars and cents into your savings to maybe $5, $10, $20, $30, $50 every single time you get paid into your savings. And both of these apps guarantee and promise you not to overdraft your account. And so if you're struggling with the discipline of savings, if you're struggling with the discipline of really putting money into your savings account, Capital and Digit are really great apps that you guys can use. They're both available in the App Store. They're both free, and they both help you to put money towards your saving, okay? So hope you track with me. The first way you can generate money for your business is bank loans. That's my least favorite way. But there's some really good bank loans out there that you can get. The second thing is going to be your personal savings. And I told you guys about easy apps that you can use to save your money, which is Capital and Digit. The third thing I want to say that you can use to save money for your business or to generate money for your business is asking your friends and family, okay? Now, I know this is going to sound obvious, but like literally you never know who's connected to you. You would be surprised of how many people are willing to invest in you if you ask them. I want you to think about that. You'll be surprised of how many people are willing to invest in you if you ask them, okay? The problem is, though, we are afraid to ask. The problem is we're afraid to, like I told you guys earlier, I had some people willing to invest in me to buy this company. 3 of those people were my friends. Like 3 of those people were willing to like bet on me with significant amounts of money to make sure that I was able to actually get the money and invest and buy this business. That to me was sobering. That was humbling for me because I never knew people believed in me that much. And so for some of you guys, you're like, man, I got this business idea and I really want to make some money from it. Will people actually invest in it? Or how would I get the money from it? Have you actually created a proposal or a plan and you've presented that to someone that you know? Have you actually really got the vision down on paper? That's the problem is sometimes we don't get the vision on paper. If your vision isn't written down, then of course nobody's going to invest in it. If you can't tell people your plan to make money, your plan to be successful, your plan to be accountable, then people of course won't give you money because you don't have anything for them to hold on to. You don't have anything for them to really invest in, you know? But I think that's really important. I think it's important that if you're going to believe in something for your business, if you're going to believe in generating money, if you can't convince your friends to give you money, if you can't convince your friends to give you income, if you can't convince your family to invest, I mean, it could be 10 people giving you $50. I don't know. Either way, though, why can't we convince them to do it? We can't sell our friends and family on it. Then how do we expect to sell the world on it? If you want to test in sales, like literally test your friends and family. If you want to test and if you can really push this thing and make this thing happen, then test it with your friends and family. If they're willing to invest in you now, imagine what you can do once you've perfected your sales. So a couple of things I always tell people when it comes to actually getting your friends and family to invest in you, you need to have a business plan, okay? A business plan or business model are two things that you can use in order to really generate income and really show them that you are serious about what you're doing. Without having a plan, a lot of people don't even know that you're serious. Anytime I've been to a lot of multi-level marketing pitches, and the first thing they always tell you to do when you join multi-level marketing is to ask your friends and family. And this is for a company that's not even yours. This is for a company that technically, yeah, you own that part of the company, but you didn't create that product. You didn't develop that product from scratch. You're selling someone else's product, right? And so multi-level marketing companies have perfected the art of pitching to those that you know first. I always know when I'm about to be pitched to because someone that I haven't talked to in a long time calls me and say, hey, Ramon, you want to go do lunch? I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, let's do lunch. And I get in there and they're just like, so I got this business thing. You wanna invest into it? I'm just like, I thought you was really talking to me. But what would happen if you actually use that same model for something that you created, something you crafted, something you've built, something that's near and dear to your heart, right? That's really important when it comes to what you're doing. You've got to have a plan. So some good places to get a business plan from, B plans. Bplans.org or Live Plans, okay? So B Plans gives you these really cool business plan templates, and Live Plans is like a software. It's like, I forget, it's really cheap, like a certain amount of money per month. And either one of those sites, like liveplans.org or I think it's liveplans.com or .org, you basically go there, they give you the little template, you fill out the template, and you basically have a business. They ask you all the questions, they ask you for the financials, they ask you for everything that you're doing. So if I'm not mistaken, I want to check this for you guys. I think it's either bplans.org, I think it's bplans.org or .com. Yeah, bplans.com, and then there's also LivePlan, okay? Liveplan.com as well. Either one of those are like really cheap software that you can buy, and you can actually, liveplan.com, you can actually go there and actually get your business plan done, okay? Now, I will say this, free one that you can use is on the Small Business Administrator. After this video, I'll post a link to it. But for my business plan, what I did for my business, for influencer, I use a Small Business Admin business plan generator. Basically, it's kind of like those sites I told you, it's just free. And basically, they take you step by step. They ask you different questions. You fill in the little blanks, and they basically create a plan for you. And even when it comes to your financials, you can actually call the SBA, and they got people there that'll help you with your business plan as well. And so there's so many free resources out there when it comes to your business plan, guys. Like literally, if you want a business plan, you can have one. Oh, Ramon, it's so difficult. It's so frustrating. I promise you it's not. Another resource you can use is SCORE. There's score.org. There's a lot of SCORE organizations around the country. I know here in Tulsa it's called Tulsa SCORE, but in your city as well, wherever you are, there are SCORE organizations with business mentors, retired business mentors that would take you step by step on best practices on writing a business plan. All you do is write down all your ideas on paper, you bring it to them, and they will help you to map out and master your plan. It's really important. I highly recommend them. I know some people who are SCORE mentors. They're pretty phenomenal. They're pretty awesome, and they're free, which is great, okay? So make sure you guys are tracking with me, all right? First way, banks and loans, okay? Second way is going into your personal savings. Third way that you can generate money is your friends and family. I told you guys, if you're going to have your friends and family, though, you got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then it's not going to work. Second thing about them with friends and family you should be aware of is that you want to create contracts. You want to make sure that they feel secure that they're going to get their money back. Now, if they're just giving you the money, cool. I will still give them a contract. letting them know, thank you, here's what you're doing, here's what you're investing in. I will still make it as professional as possible. The number one problem that people go through when it comes to asking their friends and family for money is that they don't do it in a professional way. You just kind of like, thanks, Joe. Thanks, bro, for the money. Here's $1,000. This is great. And then you take it and use it, but there's no accountability there. When your friends and family give you money, man, put them on an email list. Create it like a purchasing agreement or an investing agreement where they've invested in your company. Whether they get shares or anything or not, just let them know that it's official what they've done. Put them on an email list and email them every week about what you're doing with your business. Keep them updated, right? Don't take your friends and family for granted. Send them a thank you package. Literally make it an experience. Just imagine them being your greatest investors. Imagine them giving you, they may only give you $100, but picture that being $1 million. How would you treat somebody who gave you $1 million? Treat the people who give you the $100 the same way, right? Give us that same level of support and encouragement and help them to work through that. Okay, like literally give them an experience that they literally can't forget. Okay, and then the other thing I want to say when it comes to your friends and family is only borrow what you need. It's important for you before you actually. That's why I said the first thing is when it comes to your friends and family, you want to have a plan, because the most important thing is important for you when you first start out is if you don't have a plan. Okay, if you don't have a strategy, then you don't even know what you need. Your plan helps you know how much you need for what. They help understand how you're going to make your money. Where's your revenue going to come from? How are you going to promote and advertise that? That's really important, guys. And so having that and being able to keep them updated, treat them as investors every month, every quarter. Hey, guys, I'm going to have an investors meeting. And involved in that meeting is Uncle Joe and Mama Sue and Big Mama who gave you some money from her savings to start your business. Then that's your investors meeting. But you honor them and you respect them for the money they gave you. Only borrow what you need for that level. Don't borrow for the entire company, borrow for the next step, right? Don't borrow for the entire vision, borrow for the next step if you're going to borrow from them, and then keep them updated on what you do with that, okay? All right. Now for my next favorite way to get money for starting your business is crowdfunding, okay? Crowdfunding. Now, what is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is the ability to get multiple people to contribute money to your company, and then you get a little bit of something in return, okay? You give them something a little bit in return, right? So some examples of crowdfunding that say you have these, what they call rewards, okay? And so I want to, let's say I have an app. Well, an app is a lot of people, let's say I have an app I want to develop, okay? And I know that this is going to be a really amazing app. It's going to be an incredible app. I'm excited about this app. And I want to start generating, money to like start developing this app because it's expensive to develop an app, okay? So I created a crowdfunding campaign, and I basically put it out there to the masses on social media. And I say I'm raising $5,000 in order to develop the first version of this app, okay? And then if you guys decide to work with me, you can contribute $5, $50, $100, $500, and $1,000, right? You can choose between these levels on what you want to contribute. And in return, I'm going to give you this. I may give you a t-shirt with the name of my app on it. At this level, I may give you a thank you video from me. At this level, I may get you. So depending on the levels that you have, you get a different level reward based on level. If you give me this amount, then you get to be the first people on this app, whatever. But you create your reward system based on the levels of giving that people give. The lowest level typically gives the easiest, they get the easiest reward. They get something. Then the highest level gets, like I've seen some where at the highest level, you get like a signature or with their name on it or some really cool memorabilia, or you get some like really great experience where they fly you out to their home or whatever. But they basically include the cost of whatever that reward is in that last reward, right? And so like if it's a a trip to wherever, it usually has to be related to the actual thing that you're promoting or you're selling or the business you're starting. But whatever you're promoting or you're selling, like especially with product-based like crowd funding campaigns, typically the highest levels you get multiple amounts of that particular product, especially if it's a really cool product. And so like the Pebble watch, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Pebble, that was started through crowdfunding. Tiles, there was this little company called Tile where they give you these little tiles that you can put on your keys and put on different things that you commonly lose, and you can use the app to find those things. That was started through crowdfunding. There's a organizer called Passion Planner, which I love. That was started through crowdfunding. But there's a lot of companies and businesses that are pretty popular now that were started through crowdfunding. Either way, though, that's a way that you can generate income, right? So I want to give you guys some of the top crowdfunding sites that I like, that I actually prefer, that I've tracked, I've monitored. Some of them I've actually been able to see what people have done on them, and I've known of people who've used these websites as well. And so I want to give you some of my top crowdfunding platforms. Now, first one is you can use this Kickstarter. Kickstarter.com is a really great crowdfunding. Now, let me just caveat. There's like literally thousands of crowdfunding sites out there, and some of them are very niche based. So like whatever kind of product category you're trying to create, you should like Google that product and then, or Google that category plus crowdfunding. You Google that category plus crowdfunding site, you may find like there's one specifically for healthcare, for those who are starting like healthcare business. There's one specifically for all kinds of things. And so I'm going to give you some general ones, but you may find some very niche ones specifically in the industry that you're trying to go into, right? So you have, like I said, Kickstarter. That's probably one of the more popular ones out there. Kickstarter campaigns. Kickstarter has created like multi-million-dollar crowdfunding campaigns, which is pretty cool. The other one is called Start Engine. Start Engine is like kind of the elite version of Kickstarter. Is really great for finding investors. Like Start Engine uses crowdfunding, but instead of buying into the product and getting rewards, the rewards you get are shares in the company. So like Start Engine allows you to get shares, like to basically incorporate your company and then to sell shares of your company and to actually get those shares online from people who want to invest in your company. Okay, so Start Engine is one. Kickstarter. Another one that I really like is a form of crowdfunding, but it's called Patreon. So that's Patreon, patreon.com. I like Patreon because what Patreon does is it allows you to consistently make and build content. Patreon is really great for those of you guys who are going into like creative fields. Like maybe your business is a YouTube channel. Maybe your business is like you want to write a book. Maybe your business is like, I want to, do artwork from an artist out there. Patreon is a really good site for you guys because it allows people to support you monthly on your work and what you're doing. And it's basically like people subscribe by paying money to receive additional content from you, right? I like Patreon. Patreon is pretty awesome. But either way, all of those are really great ways to crowdfund yourself. Or, and I know someone who's done it, you can crowdfund your own project yourself on your own site. You can go to like Wix.com or WordPress.com or Weebly.com, create your own little website, create your own little crowdfunding platform. You have to, manage the rewards and manage everything that you're doing on there. But you can create your own crowdfunding platform. I have a friend that did that. They raised close to $20,000 for releasing something, for selling something or releasing something they was raising money for. And they crowdfunded their own source that way. They did it themselves. So you don't have to use one of these sites because typically these sites charge a certain amount of fees depending on what they are. But it's good because there's a built-in network there. There's a built-in structure and a built-in system there. And so because there's a built-in system, an ecosystem there, it usually works out for your favor. But, you can also create your own. And if you feel like you have enough leverage and influence and friends and family who are crowdfunding for you, I say go for it, Thing about crowdfunding is to know kind of the process. Crowdfunding is not an easy way out. Just because you create a campaign and you put it on, it doesn't mean like thousands of people are going to come and buy it. No, you have to market this thing like crazy. I did a lot of research on crowdfunding, and the thing I've learned when it comes to crowdfunding is that people who are most successful, number one, they start off with really small, measurable goals. And number two is they market that thing to like crazy. Like you create a Facebook group specifically for the crowdfunding campaign. You create a marketing plan for it. You have to invest a little bit of money sometimes for crowdfunding. It's not just like you're going to have people to come and just buy it automatically. Sometimes you got to invest money into ads on Facebook. Sometimes you got to do a PR campaign where you're sending out press releases to different news agencies around the city, especially to like affinity groups or trade groups that are interested or that are in the area that you're doing your crowdfund for. Just like you would your business, you would do the same thing for crowdfunding. So let's say, yours is that app again. Let's say the app is a medical app. then maybe all the medical publications that you know of, then you send press releases to them and let them know about this new thing that's about to release. That's going to change the game in the medical field. It does require work and promotion, but hey, it's still more than not than taking a loan. It's a lot easier, and you can get a lot more vested interest sometimes that way. And then another reason why I like crowdfunding too is it helps you to validate your idea. If you can sell the potential for something before it's even created, that's a good indication for you that, you know what, I got something going on here. A lot of times people use crowdfunding just to validate their idea. We're going to talk about that in a few. But they just use it just to get it started, just to put it online, just to put everything together, you know, make it look pretty, put the crowdfunding campaign on there, and they push it out there just to see the interest of people. And if people buy it and look up for it and they can pre-sell it on there, they can like pre-sell the rewards and things on there, then that really is what gives them, that really gives them the confidence and the hope to continue on what they were doing. So crowdfunding is really awesome. I didn't mean to spend that long on that, okay? Now, my favorite way of all time to generate money for your business outside of friends and family is going to be pre-selling, okay? Pre-selling. So let's talk about pre-selling. Pre-selling is a great way to validate your idea. And the reason why I say that is a lot of times we think of it like, I got to have something first and then I sell it. But a lot of companies don't start that way. They sell it first and then they create it, right? As long as you are clear about the expectations of what people should be expecting, if you pre-sell it first and you create it, then for you, that lets you know, number one, I actually have something on my hands, and number two, that people actually want this and I can actually sell this to people who are there. So some examples of that is, I know a lot of products out there, especially like when it comes to, if the kind of business you're starting is more content driven, like if you're, you know, creating teachings or your workshops, or if you're like, I have a friend who does leadership coaching and things like that, pre-selling what you do, and pre-selling your programs, pre-selling your packages, or if you have a physical product, okay, like you have a physical product, as long as you have a prototype for that product that you can do a photo shoot with and you can make some really pretty pictures from, then literally pre-selling that thing is a really great way to generate income from it. And so some things I recommend you do, if you're going to pre-sell it, you have to have a landing page. And your landing page should be basically like a really nice basic web page, just kind of like a one-page brochure of what that product is, why it's important, like what the features and benefits are of it, and exactly how it's going to change your life. That landing page should have the photos of the product. If you've had some opportunities to have some friends and family to use, which I recommend if you're going to validate it, I recommend getting friends and family to use the product if you can do that, or use the service where you can do that so you can get some testimonials. And then take those testimonials, take those features and benefits, take those photos, put it on the landing page, and then literally push that mug to the masses and see if you can generate money from it. If you can pre-sell something before you create it, there's a clear indication that you've really created a game changer, or you've created a market for what you're wanting to buy. But if you can't pre-sell it, if people aren't willing to buy it before it comes out, then it may be your messaging may be wrong, or it may not be something that's a need in the marketplace. You may have not done enough research to figure out what you were doing. I remember I kind of did a way of pre-validating or pre-selling my conference. I did a conference back in 2013 called the Dreamstar Entrepreneurship Conference. And so what I did was I created a survey. I sent it to 50 people, or as many people as I could, and about 50 people signed up and did it. And so everybody that actually took their survey, they gave me feedback for what they were looking for in the conference. And guess what I did? I sent them all the link to the conference when she was live. And I got a lot of people to register from it. That was my way of pre-validating or pre-selling what I was doing before I did it, right? That's a great opportunity. That's something that I would consider, okay? So in review, my favorite ways, the best places to find money for your startup. Number one, banks and other loans, right? It's my least favorite, but it works. Number two, the personal savings, right? Bootstrapping your business, putting money in savings, using your savings. Number three, your friends and family. Going to your friends and family, asking them if, hey, here's what I have, having contracts with them, having a plan with them. The next one is going to be crowdfunding. I really like crowdfunding. And then the last one is going to be pre-selling or pre-validating your actual business, like your actual product, and getting money ahead of time, okay? So that's really, really important. That's all I have for you guys on today. Hey, just for you guys don't know, major announcement. I just released a coaching program that I would love for you to be a part of. If you guys want to learn more about that coaching program, you can go to my website on mydreamstart.com, mydreamstart.com, and go to mydreamstart.com/distinct. And if you go there, you'll see my new coaching program that I just released. I would love for you guys to sign up for it if you want to get more information. Basically, I'm going to coach you one-on-one and coach you step-by-step on how to properly build your brand. So we're going to talk everything about how to build your brand. We're going to talk about how to identify your target audience. We're going to talk about how to identify ways that you can increase your brand value. We're going to talk about ways to generate income from your brand. If you guys are kind of in this world of branding and you're not for sure exactly what you should be doing, if you want to start a business or you want to start a brand or you want to grow your career and you're not sure exactly where to start or where to begin at, this coaching program is for you. So I recommend you go to mydreamstart.com/distinct. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys so much. And for those of you guys who stuck on the whole thing, you guys are amazing. You have a great day. You're awesome.